just wanted to make a short little video and explain what it's like to be homeless. Especially when I'm talking about homeless, I'm talking about homeless. Not having a vehicle, not having a van or an RV, not staying in a shelter or a motel. I'm talking about just being on the hardcore streets where you have to sleep basically on the sidewalk with a blanket outside. It is the most horrible, depressing feeling I've ever had in my life. And your friends, they don't want to talk to you anymore because they're afraid that you're going to ask for help and they won't be able to help you. But sometimes the biggest help you need is just to have support, just to have someone say, hey, I'm there for you. You know, we don't expect you to solve our homeless problem. We just want you to be there for us. If you can help us here and there, please, it just means the world to us. You have to have support to get better. When people don't have support, they just die. I know it's the hardest thing in the world. I'm thankful right now that our friend is getting us a hotel room for another night. Otherwise, I think I'd just be dead. I mean, sleeping out there, there's always somebody you're dodging, somebody that's coming at you, coming towards you. Luckily, we had our dogs most of the time to scare them away, but there was an incident when I was asleep on the streets and I have a big umbrella because it kind of cuts the wind. It's not a tent, so you can take it down, but it kind of cuts the wind and it makes you feel a little more private while you're out there. Well, I had it behind us and I was sound asleep and my dogs were sound asleep, and apparently some man snuck up on us really quietly from behind. And not to be too graphic, but somehow Ben sensed it or something and woke up, and he said the guy had his dick out and he was fixing to kill probably Ben and rape me, and I slept right through it. I slept right fucking through it. Can you imagine? Waking up being raped? The streets, no one should be living on these streets. For God's sake. It's the most horrible feeling, and you just walk around when you don't have a car. You have to take buses and walk around, and I've got 2 little dogs that I'm trying my best to take care of, so I'm constantly worried about them. It's pretty much all I think about is taking care of them. And now one of them is sick, and I have to get him to a vet, and all I want is I just want to have a shelter. I don't care how fancy it is. I don't care how much money I have. It's so dangerous out there, you guys. Even if it was a car, even if it was an RV, if I had some kind of shelter, then I could make it, and I could get myself together enough to maybe, I don't even care anymore. I work at McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever, you know. I'm just so dumbfounded with the lack of support. My friend is homeless. If you had a friend that had cancer, if you had a friend that had cirrhosis of the liver, if you had a friend that was in an accident, you would still support that friend. But when your friend becomes homeless, it's like they have the plague. It's like their skin is falling off or something. I don't know what it is, but we have a few friends that really, really, really are supportive, and if it wasn't for them, we'd be dead for sure. But most people just, oh, you're homeless, and the world is not the same. The world is not the same. I don't know. It's a spooky. You walk by Circle K and it says, you're not allowed, in some spooky 1984 voice, you're not allowed to loiter. You can't loiter. Loitering. You can't stop moving. In other words, if you're homeless and you don't have a car, even if you have a car, you can't park it anywhere, stay in it, you can't sleep in it, it's illegal. If you sometimes can get away with these things, but if it's a cop that wants to be total ass, They'll fucking wake you up 2, 3 in the morning. They don't care. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. And I'm so sad for all the people also that are going through this right now that have absolutely nobody to help them. Absolutely nobody. We have to do something about this in this country. We need to write congressmen. I speak out against homelessness all the time. I will not take anything from anyone, and I don't care. Maybe that's why I'm targeted. I don't know. But they're gonna make American citizens be homeless while they're using your tax dollar to kill innocent babies. To kill innocent babies. What kind of world are we living in right now, people? What kind of world is this? It's like I go in here to make a video and I have an idea in my head, but then I can't even remember it anymore because I've been sleeping on the streets, on the sidewalk, and my whole freaking body aches, and I'm getting sick, and it's a tiredness. It's a tiredness that's beyond comprehension living on the streets because you never get enough sleep. You always have to sleep with one eye open because there's constant people coming at you. Even in the safest places you can find, which we're in front of a shelter, so there's security guards and stuff. So when our dogs bark, it alerts the security guards, and those people usually will run. But there's some of them that are quiet. I could be dead right now, people. I could easily be dead. And the thing that's scary too is not only could you easily be killed or kidnapped and used for your body parts or whatever, raped, all those things can happen to you. All you think about all day long is, I can't wait for this life to be over. I'm not the type of person that would kill myself personally because I'm not a violent person myself, although, I will defend myself, but I'm not like one to want to hurt people for just no reason. But I am so tired and so out of it right now that it's like I'm just ready for it to be over. It's constant torture. It's cruel and unusual. And I have not committed any crime. I have no criminal record whatsoever. No criminal record. This is cruel and unusual. And we need to do something about this. We've got to do something about this. This is ridiculous. People have to be aware. I think the first step is just be aware. It can happen to anybody. I'm going to be 58 years old this month. I've worked all my life since I was 15 years old. I've always had a roof over my head, And I've always paid my bills, and I was always very, very anal about paying my rent on time because I didn't want to be homeless or anything like that. But I always had a heart for homeless people because it's the worst thing in the world that can happen to you. Especially for somebody that's introverted or something that, needs time in their home to come down from things. And you just can't. It's constant pain. Once in a while you might get a little relief. You might find some place you can go sit down for a little bit and feel a little bit better. But even being in this hotel right now, all the shit that's happened to me, I'm going through such major trauma right now. This is the most trauma I have ever gone through in my life right now. And it's so scary and horrible. And then all my friends won't even talk to me. They won't even... I don't know. It's like I've had a friend for a long time, and yeah, maybe sometimes you have a little bit of a fight or something, or you say something you shouldn't say, and then you apologize, and you think that you would go back on your friendship. But because I'm homeless right now, they won't have anything to do with me. My neighbor that I lived by for 8-9 years, that I used to help her all the time. I used to give her rides. She would help me. We'd help each other like neighborly. We went over to see her and she just told us we were assholes and to get away from her. and to just give up our pets, the only thing that we have that's keeping us sane and safe. And my babies, they would not do well if I gave them up. They would just be so heartbroken. They would probably just die instantly. And she told me to give up my animals. Just like that would be like somebody giving up their children. And I don't understand how people can be so fucking cruel. And I'm sorry for cussing, but how can people be so fucking cruel in this world? And I'm not saying everybody's cruel, but the funny thing is most of the people that have helped me have been strangers. Not my family. No, not my family won't have anything to do with me. Not one person in my family will have anything to do with me. And now I'm losing friends, and nobody cares. And I think all I do is walk around all day thinking that I just want to die, you know? And that's terrible for anybody to feel like that. And I don't hurt people. I don't hurt people. I can't even hardly hurt bugs.
And it's all because of generous people like you who support
It's just too much. It's just too much.